Hello everyone, welcome back on Nested Mango channel. Guys, I'm Ramkesh Singh, Unity game developer, YouTuber and blogger. So friends, this is the third part of SFS where I am explaining that how the integration work with the Unity. So if you are new on the channel, make sure subscribe the channel, and if you have not watched any part of this, so just visit the playlist SFS where you will get all the parts and just watch from the starting so that you can create a basic structure in your mind and full clear concept so that you can able to understand what I am going to perform. So in today's tutorial I am going to tell you what I am going to share with you, that how you can create your connection with the Unity application to server and what you need. So let's start the today video, and if you are new on the channel, make sure subscribe the channel, and if you have not, and drop your any question if you want to ask with me, and don't forget to like the video so that I can get reachability to like-minded like you, so that they can get help if they are learning too. Last part I shared with you a structure that how front end interact with the server. What we are going to learn you, that I am going to share you a script, so don't worry about anything. I will share the script, and here you can see the red lines, so don't afraid of the red lines. These are the just red lines. Just you have to understand the concepts, because few script like debugging the message, they are not available in the script, so that's why we are getting the error. But I will share the whole script with you, and you can customize with your, so don't worry about the red lines. So I'm just going to share you that how it works. So we have Sfs Manager, so you can create your Sfs Manager, or I will share the Sfs Manager and you can customize according to you. But before that, what we need a server. Okay, let's suppose you have server, so you need a IP address, you need a zone. So you can ask to your backend developer, they will provide you these things. So let me show you that I have a game manager script, and just open it. So here you can see this is the basic class game manager, and I have created one instance, and here we are just creating a singleton so that we can get access from any script. Okay, and in same script I am creating one more static class, that is the static strings. And what here you can see that public static string default host. So this is the IP address, and here you have to just paste your IP address whatever you are getting from the server, and here is the default TCP port, so you can ask your backend to provide a port. And here is the zone. So whenever a backend create a backend, they just create the zone, so you also need, so same zone you have to provide here. And here is the default WS port. So when you are creating any application for the WebGL, so their port is different from our other for Android and Windows, so you have to just use this port. You can ask your backend, they will provide. Okay, this thing you need to create a connection. Okay, so this is the game manager, and these are the events that I was talking about. So I will tell you in the future that what are the events and how we can going to utilize them, and what are these things I will explain in the future. But for the creating the connection, we need this thing. These are the very important thing. These are the IP address, they are the TCP port, and they are the default zone, and they are the WS port. Okay, so this is for WebGL, but you can just write this thing, and I will write the code according to it. So when we need this port, we will use this port. When we need this port, we will use this port. Okay, good. What we get, we are just putting all the parameters that we need to provide the server to create a connection, because this thing help us to create a connection with the server. Okay, now we need Sfs Manager. So here is Sfs Manager and let's open it. So Sfs Manager contains all the logics to just create the connection, to perform the logging, to get the response, to request to the server. All the things is in the Sfs Manager. Okay, don't worry about anything. We are also creating a singleton class. So for singleton class, public static Sfs Manager instance, and here you can see we are creating SmartFox Sfs. Why we are using? We are going to create a SmartFox script. We will use Sfs for checking the connection, to requesting, means all the activities we will do using the Sfs. And for using Sfs, you need to import sfs2s dot entities dot data, and these are the for JSON parsing, so you can use from your side, but I am just going to share you Sfs part. And after that, when you are getting the data from the server, you will be able to perform your parsing, that how you can parse the JSON. And if you have any confusion for parsing, I am making sure that you know how to parse data. If you are not, so just search JSON parsing in Unity nested mango. You will get that how you can parse the data. There are so various way to parse the data, so that is not too much difficult. There is no any rocket science. You have to just create a model class and you have to just call them and you will get to parse the data. Means they are very simple, just you can search about it. And here you can see enum Sfs request. So these are the requests, so we are not going to cover now, but important thing is start method. Any start method, I am checking that it is instance. If it is null, so we are providing this object. And we are also doing don't destroy on load. This is very important thing, because when I am using here login, but let's suppose I am using the same script in the 10 scenes, so in another scene that will not work, that will destroy. But due to writing this line that don't destroy on load this dot game object, so that game object will be not destroy, that will be in all your scene, login scene, game scene, game 2 scene, means everywhere. Okay. And reconnecting manager, so basically this script is very important. I will also provide this. Basically this check the internet connection, that it is internet is reachable or not. If we are not able to reachable, so we just try, we are performing the callbacks, and we check again and again until we are not getting the internet connection. Okay, so basically this thing is checking that we are connected to or not. If we are not connected to, so we will go out. But if you are if we are connected to internet, because this is the delegate, and we will get the response that we are connected to, so after that we will perform connect Sfs. So this is the method where we are writing all the codes to start the connection between the server. And this is the pinging. What is the pinging? So if you know what is the ping pong request, so just drop in the comment box. And in the next tutorial I will share what is the ping pong, how you can create the connection to Sfs. So just click this method and here you can see the magic, that is the Sfs equal to null. If we don't have any object, or if Sfs is connected, means it is not connected. You can see here is not connected. So at that time, if we are using the WebGL, so at that time we use Sfs new SmartFox. And if it is not, so we are just using Sfs new SmartFox. We are using the window stuff. Okay, so this is the, so when means here we are checking if it is not a WebGL, so we are creating this way. And if it is WebGL, so for the WebGL I told you that we have to perform a very little difference. So you can see if else, in else use websocket.wsvn. So we are using this, and at that time you can see these are the predefined, means you can call it Sfs event. Sfs add event listener, SFS event connection. These are the events you are calling. You can see these are the many events like login, connection lost, login error, logout, extension response. These are the SFS events. You can see there are so many events, SFS events. These are the events. Okay. So here and here you can also see we are also adding the add listener for log label, means so that we can get the warning, error, info message. And here we are writing again Unity WebGL. If we are using the Unity WebGL, so this line we are using to print that what we are sending, that host, WebSocket, zone. So this thing we will provide, or in the log manager. So log manager is not available, that's why we are going to show the errors. So you can see this is the script where we check in the game manager, like static string. You can see we use here, and we are just printing from there. Okay, highlight. So this is the just printing the message, not more than it. And here we are using the connection parameter like config data cfg, new config data cfg dot host, and here we are providing our IP address. Okay, in config data we create object, and here we provide IP address. Normally we provide default host. Okay, but in case of Unity WebGL we also provide cfg port and static string default ws port. Default ws port is that port, we are talking about that port. Okay, this port is also getting used here also, you can remember. Okay, so that thing. And if that is not WebGL, so we are using default TCP port from the game manager. And again here we are defining our zone, default zone, and here we are printing cfg debug true, so that we can get the message. And after that, if you know about the photon, because most of you are familiar with the photon, so we use sfs.connect cfg, means all the data we are filling in the connect and just requesting to the server. Okay, and if okay, so at that time we are just performing the connection, and if these are not true, we are going in the else part. Like if we are already connected, so we don't have to connect, so at that time we are performing sfs.disconnect. Okay, so remember that sfs.disconnect, sfs.connect play a very important role everywhere. Whenever you want to call any method from the sfs, you have to call sfs.connect, sfs for disconnect. Means this one line play a very important role, because at a one time whenever you want to disconnect from the server, you have to use sfs.disconnect. Okay, so when you perform your connection, you use the sfs.connect. So after that, what happens? Server give you a callbacks. Server, what happens? Server give you a callbacks. What are the callbacks? Because whenever you perform a particular action, if you know about the photon, so in photon they also provide a callbacks. I mean, whenever you create the connection, you get that on connected to master. So similarly you also get the callbacks like here on connection. And how you get callbacks? You choose that where you want to get callbacks or not. So on connection we have used, so we will get response from there. And you must also need to perform to remove log listener in reset method, so you can perform also this thing as well. But here you can see region SmartFox server event listener, and in this event listener what you are getting on connection, that is the callbacks. And here we are checking bool, that base event, and parameter success. If we are getting success in the parameter, it means that we are connected to the server. Okay, and when you are getting connected to the server, so at that time whatever action you want to perform, you can perform. So here you can see that when we are connected to the server. So what we are checking, that if we are connected to the server, so at that time you have to perform, I told you what I told you, you have to perform 2 login, not in all server, but in SFS you perform one login. You can call it login or you can call it any trigger, that SFS provide one trigger and one user login. So here is the SFS login. Then basically we use SFS instance SFS send. Okay, so send is a just predefined method from the SFS, and here we are putting new SFS dot request dot login request. Okay, so here is the login request where username, password and zone name will provide to the SFS. So here you can see we are requesting user ID, default zone. So at that time we use this method, but this method is that when we are in another scene, we are playing the game and we are just get disconnected to server. So at that time we use that method. Okay, it might be a little confusing, but when you are playing the game you just automatically getting disconnected, and at that time when you connected with the server, so at that time you perform so that you can start your application from there. So whenever you let's suppose you are playing the game and at that time you disconnected, so at that time you have to create the connection, and at that time you also perform the login, and then you have to choose that where you are. If you are in the particular scene, so at that time on the basis of that you have to perform the request and you will get the response. So listen very clearly, and it might be a very little confusing, but listen carefully. That is the very useful when you want to play your game, when you connected when you disconnected from your server and you start game from there. Basically we are getting the advantage of on connection callbacks, that we get to know that we are connected or not, or after that if connection failed, so at that time we are just using the reset, whatever I told you, that we have to just remove the listeners if we are not connected. And here is also many callbacks like connection lost. So in connection lost you can see that we get to know that we are connected or not. And on login, so you also get to know that we are currently logged in or not. So these are the predefined methods, or you can call it default, you can call it callbacks. Okay, this is the way to create a connection, and hope you understand what we need. And if you have any confusion, so just watch this tutorial again. And if you want to more clarity, that if you have any confusion, so you can just check out the connector, whatever we get in their project, sample project, you will get to know that which thing we need. So in connector they also using the same things, so similar kind of stuff, so you can explore also as well it. But I will provide this script of this all the script in the future when we will complete the series, so that after explaining all the request and response thing, I will provide so that you didn't get any confusion. Okay, so don't worry about the script, just learn and what I explained. So hope you enjoy this tutorial. That was a basic connection, and it might be feels confusing, but watch video again and I will share the script. You just read it and will get to know that it's very simple. Just this is the process to communicate with the server. So see you in the next tutorial, and आपको video and how you're feeling about watching the video, just let me know. And thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you in next video.